taken victory in Brazil, yet the Spaniard has made the podium on 8 occasions, more than any other current driver, only twice less than Michael Schumacher, who stood on the podium 10 times, 4 times the Grand Prix winner. The circuit here at Sao Paulo is something of a throwback circuit, built in the 1940s. It's been
Well, we are back for. Hold on, I think someone needs an invite. Right, apologies, we are ready now. Aurora Racing League. Back again here in Brazil, Sao Paulo. 7 thousandths of a second separate the top two here in qualifying in the rain. Here in Brazil. Coys with a 117.442. Mikhail, the current championship leader, the 117.449. But Mikhail goes faster, a 117.035. Has he gotten more comfortable with the car, or are the conditions getting easier out there on the tarmac? Sorry for my lack of commentary, I'm just trying to get something set up.
The circuit underwent renovations during the late 60s with the hope that modern facilities would entice its
Hello, Nate. Coy's
a Formula 1 GP.
this absolute legend. Every single time he's in here telling me what the forecast says. Thank you very much, Coy's. The race is going to be dry. Crucial information that I never find out, well, because I'm the commentator. Let's get all of this set up. I'm absolutely starving right now. I haven't really eaten that much all day, to be honest, so my dinner's ready as well, I can smell it. So I'm absolutely famished here at the commentary box, but alas, we power through here for qualifying in Brazil. Mikhail leads the championship standings yet again. He's clear of second place Lucas, who isn't even here this week, and he is clear by 43 points. Nate, alright, I'm going to try and do a better lap. Nate, second to bottom right now with a 119.05. Needs improvement if he wants to climb up the order. Yeah, so if we have a look at the... I mean... How many races do we have left? After this, there's only 2 races. Are either of them sprint races? And if they aren't sprint races, I do believe today Mikhail could make it statistically impossible for anyone else to win. Imola... Wait. How do I know if it's a sprint? Normally it says. Alright, I'm not 100% sure if either Imola or Yas Marina are sprint races. Yeah, sorry, I haven't even looked. B Chills. We saw he didn't necessarily have the race pace last week, although I'm pretty sure he finished second in an unreal comeback in which he could have won. First on track, but then penalty caused him to drop down. I would be right in saying that, wouldn't I? I don't know if I'd be right in saying that, actually. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Wait. No. Wait, what? Oh, penalties must have been applied and I didn't keep up because, yeah. Something happened with penalties, surely. By the way, Lucas is complaining because he can't drive. Something's wrong with him. This is Lucas second in the World Championship. Lucas, so if someone could respond to him, he's getting very antsy in the Discord. I've invited him, but something's obviously wrong. B Chills though, what a flyer that is. A 1:15.5, what a time. Like I said, does that just mean the conditions are getting better around here at Interlagos? Lucas is now in the chat. Yeah, I have tried to bring it to their attention as best as I can. Nate's now talking to you. Lucas, I've messaged you. What do you mean by you can't drive? I'm not messaged you, sorry, Lucas. I've invited you. What do you mean by you can't drive? Mikhail. 5/10 improvement in the middle sector. Lights the track up with purple there. Mikhail to the line in the Scuderia. Around the track in Brazil, but he doesn't go top, and he's still a second behind B Chills. I'm in the lobby, but I can't choose a car. Are you sure you aren't on spectator? You probably aren't, but just check. So B Chills really has had a flyer here. No, right, okay. Ooh, twitchy on the rear end there for the Williams or Luke. We ride on board with the Williams driver. Let's see what these conditions are like. Coming through corners into turn 10. 15 corners around the track here at Interlagos. Not that many for a Formula 1 circuit. Into 12. So he does it, and then 13, 14 and 15 are hardly even turns. It's more like one continuous turn. Allegedly middle sector, lighting up purple there, but into the pits goes the Williams driver. CL Fan. I'm sure it's probably maybe like a football team, some sort of team. CL Fan in the AlphaTauri making their debut here at Aurora Racing League. What can the AlphaTauri driver do towards the line? Coming around 12 now. $117.8 for the AlphaTauri. No one else is doing a lap. Or maybe this is the lap for the AlphaTauri, actually. My apologies. I'm not 100% sure. Lucas, I don't know if we can, because it's not really within my control. The AlphaTauri driver improves by a tenth, but a tenth is not enough to move away from 7th place. Nate is back out on the track in the Ferrari on an invalid lap, so this is Nate's lap now. Let's see what the Scuderia can do into turn 1. Someone's going to have to tell me, is this bit of the track is invalidated already? So this isn't going ideally for Nate. He's going to have to do just another lap. He can't pit, there's no time. I suspect everyone is going to start coming out of the pits now. They do. Locking up heavily into turn 4 there. Through this really thin stretch of track and then into 6. Around 7, 8 here, and then this kind of horseshoe turn of 9. So easy to mess up and run wide off the track in so many places. It's really a track of fine margins, Sao Paulo, but it is a brilliant track, one of my favourites, and home to many iconic Grand Prix. 2021, 2008 of course, probably the most famous one. 2012, Sebastian Vettel's, one of Sebastian Vettel's wins, championship wins I think. A track with a ton of history. Luke gets it, a 116.2, but that's still not enough to get anywhere near B Chills. I don't know what the Red Bull driver has done before he's come out on track, whether or not he's put on a wet setup and just thought, do you know what, I'll go for pole, sod the race, or if this is genuinely just his pace on a dry setup in wet conditions. I've got no idea, but it is absolutely incredible. Here is Coys. We know he's quick over a lap. We know he's quick in races. What can Coys do here at Interlagos? Obviously, I don't think it's called Interlagos anymore. It got a new name, but I'm always going to call it Interlagos, I think. B Chills He's finished. He doesn't think he needs to go again. I don't think he needs to go again either. I don't see anyone getting anywhere near his time. Let's see what Koiz can do though. About to start the final sector. He has improved by 1.1 seconds. Hang on a minute. What can Koiz do? But I don't think it's going to be enough. Nate up to P4. Koiz crosses the line. And he goes P3, but it's still not good enough for P1. Nowhere near. This has been an unreal lap time, and that is the rear end of Mikhail. Mikhail isn't going to get a better lap in now. He's nearly just binned it into a wall. He's done a Max Verstappen, keeping that one. Unbelievable drifting talent. Reina puts it P3. Gazelle crosses the line and stays P7. And Mikhail not on a competitive lap time. So that means that B Chills is on pole for the race. It's like watching a rally car right now. Good luck, Nate. B Chills with an unbelievable lap time. But to be fair, Luke actually got pretty close. So did Reina, but B Chills another level. Unbelievable performance. Are we doing a restart? Forgot to put the battery on for the whole lap, says Gazelle. No wonder then. Right. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on Discord. Hang on. I need to mute the computer as well. There we go. Alrighty. So we're doing a restarted session. So I need to leave. Well, that's fantastic. I thought I did leave. I don't know what just happened. Hold up. Yo, what? Misclick. Here we go. I haven't got the invite. My car broke down on the cooldown lap, prepping for my final one. Friend, quiz. Oh my, wait, what am I doing? I'm so stupid, honestly. Sorry about that. I've got no idea what I was doing. I'm so like, it's absolutely roasting in the UK right now, and my brain is just not working at all. Jeez. Yeah, sorry about that. I've got no idea what was going through my head. UK houses make the weather feel like 40 degrees. Yeah, because they're built like ovens. It's the insulation and stuff. And the worst part is I normally have all my windows open anyway, because I'm just naturally, I get really hot, like even in winter. So I always have my windows open, which is really weird. But some of the people who live near us, they like to just put things on the fire to get rid of them. And they were burning stuff today, and the smoke was just filling up the house, so we all had to close the windows. So I'm going to go and open them now. Hopefully it's not too bad, but yeah. Right. So you not have no. We do not have air conditioning, unfortunately. It's one of those things. It's just not the country where you'd have air conditioning, because it doesn't get that warm all that often. Not. I guess I don't know. It's not worth it when you spend the majority of your day at school or work either. So it's just one of those things. If it's not going to be warm all the time, then why bother? I think because it's quite expensive. So. The office that my dad works in they installed air conditioning, but that's different. Right, this... Okay, if this is getting going... Finally, after the hold up, I think we are about to get going. Oof, it is absolutely boiling. So, guess I'll give you a quick rundown whilst I can. Here the cars are lined up for the formation lap. B Chills will get the grid away. Lead them into turn one unless he doesn't get as good of a start as Luke. 15 corners, 15 turns more like, around Interlagos here in Sao Paulo. It is a fantastic racetrack. It's always a good race here in Brazil. In real life, in the game, it's great. We should be in for a good race today. Dry conditions as well. Despite the wet qualifying, the B Chills put on a wet weather setup for qualifying. And is that why he was so much faster, or was he genuinely just showing ridiculous amounts of pace? We're going to find out sooner rather than later. B Chills got pole by over 2/10. Luke was second, but remember, B Chills set one less lap time than everyone else, so he probably had more in the tank. Luke P2, he is on the soft tyres. That's one that we need to look at. Softs for Luke, mediums for Reina, mediums for B Chills as well. Softs for Coys, mediums for both of the Ferraris. Hards for Gazelle and CL Fan, and then Lucas, who couldn't actually get into qualifying, starts on the mediums. So we've got a varied grid. The majority on mediums, that's 5 of them. 2 of them on softs, 2 of them on hards. How is this race going to pan out? You see the possible race strategies there from AWS. Mediums to softs, lap 21, 23, or hards, mediums to softs as a 3-stop? What? What are they on about? Right. As the cars are lined up on the grid, the lights are on here for the Brazilian Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go. And it looks like a good getaway for B Chills into turn 1. He leads comfortably. Little bit of a battle at the back between the McLaren, and here comes the Williams of Luke around the outside and takes the lead going through turn 3. Coys and Reina getting by B Chills as well, so a terrible start to the race for the Red Bull driver, and it might get worse because off the track he goes, which allows every single car on the grid to get past him. He started on P1 and he is last after only a few corners. Luke leads them going through turn 8 and into turn 9. The Williams driver, it's been a very good start for him, but he's got to watch out because Coys, who is also on the soft tyres, is looking to make a statement. B Chills couldn't have had a worse start to a race if he tried. No idea what's happened to the Red Bull driver, but here comes the McLaren. Coys around the outside towards the start finish straight, and now he takes the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Very, very good opening lap for Coys. Reina in P3 with longtime rival Mikhail directly behind him. Towards turn 4 we go. DRS not enabled, but I don't think Mikhail's going to need it. Is he going to go for it around the outside into turn 4? He is going to go for it. Reina's going to stick it, keep it down the inside. Mikhail goes off the track a little bit. We ride on board with the Mercedes. The Ferrari still on his inside, and he has to concede the position. A little bit twitchy on the rear end, but Mikhail gets the job done, and he can now begin his pursuit on Luke, who isn't giving up the battle for P1, not just yet at least. Gazelle P5 is all over the back of Reina. Something's happened to Reina in this season, and he has just dropped off with his race pace. Lucas in there as well. Nathan CL Fan have been caught out, and Reina, by the way, back ahead of the Ferrari. I was going to say B Chills has found his way past the Ferrari in the AlphaTauri, but something's happened and he's back to the back again. Reina now, we ride on board the rear wing of the Mercedes driver. Well, he thought that Mikhail was going to go for it down the inside. I thought Mikhail was going to go for it down the inside, but he didn't. Stayed at bay because he knows that with DRS, this move into turn 4 is going to be a lot easier, and he doesn't want to give Reina the DRS. Down the inside he goes. Mikhail up to P3. But Rayner, once again, he isn't giving up. And towards 7 they go. 6 then into 7. Rayner hasn't given up yet. He's still looking for that position, but he's got to be careful. His teammate is behind him. So is Gazelle, and Gazelle is not been too poor this season. So if I was Rayner, I'd be a little bit worried about what's going to happen behind as B Chills makes a move back up on CL Fan. Unbelievably poor start for B Chills. Look at this battle now. Koi's sorry, has led for a few laps, but that is coming to an end with DRS. Luke flies down the inside, and he has that move done way before the braking zone. The Williams back up into P1. Mikhail, he is still ahead of Rayner, despite the DRS advantage that the Mercedes driver might have got. And it's not looking too good here for Rayner, because he's got Gazelle right behind him. And even though they've both got DRS, Gazelle is an awful lot closer to Rayner than Rayner is to Mikhail. Although the DRS did help Rayner close that gap ever so slightly. Koi's, by the way, back past Luke. We missed that. Sorry about that. And Lucas has managed to work his way past the Aston Martin driver, and he can now pursue his teammate. So Rayner really not catching a break here. Luke still on the back of Koi's. Koi's and Luke have been battling it out since lap 1. And this DRS, is it going to help the Williams driver back past the McLaren once again? Both Mercedes powered cars, but car performance is equal. Is he going to go left? Is he going to go right? Koi's is going to send him round the long way. Luke doesn't even try, because he knows that he's going to pick up another bit of DRS towards turn 4. He's waited for it. He's played his cards right. Koi's moves to the inside, but is the defence going to be enough? No, it's not. He tucks in behind the Williams and concedes that position for now. Both the Mercedes still battling it out there in the background, as you see. But it's hard to lead this battle for P1, because it hasn't ended. Not one driver is able to pull away from the other. And I feel like another lead switch is about to happen. Both soft tyre runners, and they aren't really able to pull away from Mikhail either. I mean, the battling will definitely be helping Mikhail stay in contact, but with Mikhail on the mediums, you would have thought they would have done a bit of a better job at clearing the Ferrari. But no, Koi's 3/4 of a second back he was there before the DRS kicked in. 3/10 into turn 1. But is the DRS towards turn 4 going to be enough this time? I think not. Clearly Luke's done something right that lap. Pulled out a little bit more pace than Koi's has to offer, and he's just managed to stay safe going through those DRS zones, which can be so dangerous when trying to keep your position. The Mercedes, so Mikhail is in DRS range of Koi's, Rayner's in DRS range of Mikhail, Lucas is in DRS range of Rayner, but no one is close enough to make the overtake work. Now, are we starting to see the soft tyres drop off? I imagine we probably are, because Mikhail is all of a sudden now only 5.5 tenths behind Koi's. That gap was a second a lap ago. Are we going to see these drivers pull in? It looks like Luke has actually pulled away quite a lot from Koi's. Koi's stays out. So does Luke. B Chills makes his way past Gazelle, who's dropped off the pace quite a lot here as well. But we're having a look up and down the order. Nothing really happening so far. It's kind of like this DRS train that we've got. But Koi's, he's now starting to gain on Luke again. 7 laps into this 36 lap race. And Koi's might be eyeing up the move. Into turn 1 I think is probably his best bet, because he's close this time round. Luke hasn't been able to pull away like he did last lap. And whilst Mikhail is close to the back of him, I think Koiz might have a good opportunity, but he runs it deep into 10, and all of a sudden, his chances of getting Luke have just evaporated. His chances of getting taken by Mikhail have just increased by a lot. He's nearly dropped out of that second range to the Williams in front of him. He's going to need that DRS. It's crucial for him to stay ahead of Mikhail here. And while he will stay ahead this time round, it depends on how close Mikhail can get going through turn 1. Who has the better line? Mikhail a little bit deep. Compromises his run through 2 and then 3. And when he's back on the power, he's 4/10 behind, and that's not close enough by any means to make an overtake. Rayner, don't count him out because he is still on the back of Mikhail. He's never left. How do we always end up with these bots in the stream? Ignore that. So, well, we really have 5 cars separated for P1 right now. And Rayner is really, really beginning to apply the pressure on Mikhail now. Who will blink first? That's the question. We've got 5 cars here. 6 now because B Chills has finally caught up to the back of this pack. B Chills is fast, but he just too many mistakes and it always costs him. But he's absolutely rapid. It wouldn't surprise me if we saw him making the first move. Here comes Rayner. Short gap to Mikhail. B Chills is all over the back of Lucas. Lucas moves to the inside into turn 1 and manages to keep the position, but the Red Bull driver is pressing on. B Chills is going to look for the overtake, and I think he's going to get it into turn 4. Look how close he is. And switching to the inside, B Chills is going to come flying past. Later on the brakes, and B Chills takes P5. Well, he's not made it easy for himself. Qualified pole and found himself at the very back after literally a few corners. Like, we'd just gone through. It was basically at turn 4. He'd lost everything, and he was in P9. But he's worked his way back up, despite more incidents at the back between him, CR Fan, and Nate. And now he finds himself putting pressure on Rayner, and possibly putting himself into a podium fighting position. He's all over the back of Rayner. The Mercedes driver, they make contact. And around the outside, B Chills with DRS will dispatch Rayner into the braking zone. Later on the brakes, and already he's all over Mikhail. So B Chills is just putting on a show here. Looks like he's racing AI. He is just rapid, but he's just too inconsistent. They nearly ran it into the back of Mikhail. That meant that Rayner could just slam it up the inside and take P4 back. And I don't think B Chills can necessarily argue with the contact, because he has just kind of nearly gone into the back of Mikhail, and then Rayner, what's he meant to do? Predict that? I don't know. Mikhail, I think Mikhail knows that he needs to make an overtake sooner rather than later, otherwise he's going to be picked off by the Red Bull behind him. I'm wondering when we're going to see these two front runners pit, because they are both still on the softs. B Chills has passed Rayner again. No pits for Luke, no pits for Koiz. Here comes B Chills. Here comes Koiz, actually. Nearly. He was looking at the move. I think he'll look at the move now towards turn 4. B Chills will definitely look for the move on Mikhail. Here's Koiz. Is he going to send it? No, that's too much. B Chills tries it around the outside, runs it deep again and loses the time. He can't keep doing that, because that's how he's going to get stuck behind. If he keeps going for it when it's not on and losing time, then he's never going to make any progress. He is all over the back of Mikhail though. This Red Bull driver has got some serious pace. And he might just look for an audacious move here on Mikhail. He's going to go for it. Oh, not quite. Into 12. I thought he might. He was thinking about it. But instead, he's just going to wait for the easy overtake. DRS on the back of the Ferrari, who, by the way, is eyeing up Koi's. Are we going to see a double overtake from the Red Bull? We're not going to see any overtake, but we have 3 abreast into turn 1 between 1, 2, and 3 there, and Koi's is the beneficiary, sorry. Koi's up to P1, Luke in P2, Mikhail down the inside of the Williams into turn 4. Can the Ferrari driver make the move stick? He might be able to. They're side by side going into 6. Then around 7, this is allowing Koi's to run away a bit. And oh no, Mikhail is off. So going into that corner, whatever happened between Luke and Mikhail has caused Mikhail to end up right down the order. That is not what the Ferrari had in mind there. But 2 into 6 and 7, it's not easy. B chills down the inside of Luke, gets the job done. Now he's going to fly past Koi's. And he's just made 2 moves on the same stretch of road. And here's Rayner, I think, defending for his life on Lucas. But I couldn't tell if they were overtaking each other. Apologies for the bad cough. Bit out of my control. Luke will be desperate to get that move back on Koi's. So let's just run you through what happened very briefly. B Chills was on pole into turn 1, got taken by Luke. Then into turn 4, he dropped all the way down to 9th place. And now he's back up into P1. In the space of 13 laps, he's been in the lead, dropped all the way back, and then came all the way back through. And nobody's pitted. That is unbelievable. And you best believe he's going to fly off into the distance, or is he? Because he has just gone wide there, coming out of 13. You can't get penalties. Is Koi's going to pit? No, but Luke will. No drive-through for the Williams. Lucas is past Rayner into turn 1. Can he keep that position towards turn 4? I think that's the question. Here comes Rayner. The wing is open, but the move is not there. No matter how optimistic you are, unless you're Max Verstappen, I don't see many people forcing it from there. Luke has retired from the session. And I think he's come out of the pits and contact with the wall. Or he's spun out, made contact with the wall. I think it's a wheel gone. That was coming out of the pits. So Luke, who led quite a few laps of this race, is now out due to an incident coming out of the pits. That is heartbreaking, but it does give Koi's an opportunity. And I think it gives B Chills an opportunity. Will they pit? I'm not sure. Is the Rebel driver going to put the hards on? No. Koi's is going to pit. Is it going to be for mediums or is it going to be for hards? That's the question. If he comes in, it will be lap 15 when he crosses the line. So there you go, lap 15 ticked over. He's going to have to do 17 laps, I think, on the mediums. That is surely not right. 10, 20, what am I on about? He's going to do 20 laps on the mediums. Obviously a lap isn't long here, and he has stretched those softs out. It's not the impossible task, to be fair. We'll have to wait and see. Green flag racing resumes. Oh my lord, my throat is absolutely killing. Lucas P2, Reina P3. The Mercedes not doing too bad for themselves. I'm interested to see how far the medium stint goes. Because right now, they do look like though we're getting to about 20 laps on those tyres, if not more. Which means that, I mean, Coy's has basically got the perfect strategy. Will we see Coy's take a win here in Brazil? Here comes Reina on the back of his teammate. Nothing stupid into turn 1, but he was definitely eyeing up the opportunity. Decent run, but a bit twitchy. Coming out of 2 and towards turn 4, he's just going to be too far back. DRS to reel in his teammate. He's just going to have to stick behind him for the time being. Lucas left the session. That's really unlucky for the Williams. He was driving so well. And then he bins it out of the pit, I think. And if that is true, I'm so sorry, Luke. Really unfortunate. Riding on board just then with Reina. You can see how much closer he gets over the course of a lap. He's clearly got enough pace to stick with his teammate. Does he have enough pace to pass him? That is the question. Getting into the position to overtake is one thing. Making the overtake, it's a whole other story. But I think it should be, well, a piece of cake here. DRS towards turn 1. Reina forced the long way round. But it isn't really that difficult for the Argentine. And he is up to P2. DRS though for his teammate towards turn 4. Can Lucas get on the heroics? He probably could have, but chose the smarter option. Stayed away from the desperate lunge. There we are only on lap 17, not even halfway into this race. No safety car yet. Virtual safety car, but no full course. I say yet because this is Aurora Racing League, and I mean, even with 8 drivers, wouldn't be surprised to see a safety car. I reckon it's unlikely, because everyone seems to be quite spaced out now, which is a shame really, because we had a fantastic battle before, like 6 cars, all within, 7/10 of one another, and now the only people that we've got who are within a second of each other are these 2 teammates. Lucas holds fire on the overtake because he knows he wants the DRS towards 4, but he had a bit of a slow run, and as smart as he was being, I don't think it's worked for Lucas, not this time round. The only positive I can really think of right now for Lucas would be that he is second in the championship, and he is on course to finish ahead of Mikhail this race, so he can close the gap down, but he's only going to have 2 more races after this one, I think. I don't think he's got enough time, honestly. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm going to quickly move away from chat and go back onto the image I had up on Discord before. Lucas, not as close to Reina this time, but he's going to get closer and closer down the start-finish straight. He could actually switch it to the inside and dive, but he does the same thing he did last time. Just wait. But a slow run through the first few corners, and he drops off massively. I don't know if this is part of his plan, if he's just waiting and waiting lap after lap before he wants to make that overtake. I don't know. But at the moment, he's not getting anywhere near it because of this interesting strategy that he's got going. Mikhail gets a 3-second time penalty. I narrowly avoid having a voice crack. And let me check the calendar. So yeah, after this we've got Imola and Yas Marina, 2 tracks only. if I have a look at the something's going on there, never mind. I don't really know why that's happening. So, Coys has just, from absolutely nowhere, Coys has just come flying through, nearly past both of the Mercedes. He gets past Lucas, the McLaren driver, on the back of Rayner. Well, Rayner just completely blocks off the inside line. And then Coys comes flying down the inside and hits Rayner. I'm going to clip that and have a look at it, because I don't fully know where I stand on what's just happened there. Rayner's just come across to cover off Coys. I'm guessing Coys thought he was going to not fully cut across, but Rayner just didn't stop turning. Back down the inside of Lucas goes Coys. He's now filled with anger, I'm imagining. And whilst B Chills is like 12.5 seconds up the road, we've got a ferocious battle for P2 here, and my controller's disconnected just as the overtake's about to happen. Fantastic. And the overtake happens and I don't even see it. Brilliant. Yes. Rayner actually pitted, so we didn't miss much. And I'm going to take this opportunity to have a look at that incident between the McLaren and the Mercedes driver. Yeah, I've had a look at it now, and it is an interesting incident. Rayner covers off the inside, and they kind of turn at the same time to go to the inside. Rayner's covered it off. Coy's had time to not go down the inside, but he just kind of kept the car there, and instead of turning to go somewhere else or hitting the brakes, he just drove into the back of Rayner and kind of started pushing him through whilst also cutting the grass up on the left hand side. Rayner's got the softs on to the end, by the way, so that's 15 laps on them softs. I wonder how that's going to help. Honestly, this cough is absolutely diabolical. I imagine we'll see Lucas into the pits now. Yes, we do. Mercedes driver slows it down. And I am imagining we'll also put the soft tyres on. Yes, he will. See what the stop's like for the Mercedes crew. Pretty decent. That means that Mikhail is now up to P3 with a time penalty. Gazelle P4, and seem to cut the corner there, so we'll get a warning for that. Coys is gaining on B Chills. Now, B Chills has not pit. We can have a look at the stops now. Everyone has pit except for B Chills, and he's still got a 10-second gap up the road, but he does need to get into the pits because he is now dropping the time a little bit. So I imagine we'll see him pit right now from those mediums onto the soft tyres. But no, opts to stay out. One more lap. Can't do this for much longer. I mean, I know he's got pace, but he needs to leave himself some time. Then again, the gap really isn't changing now between Coys and B Chills. CL Fan gets a 3-second time penalty again. Have a look at the penalties, actually. 12 seconds for CL Fan, 3 for everyone else. Look at Rayner, who is ahead of Lucas on 1 lap older tyres. Is Lucas gaining on his teammate? He is, at a drastic rate. So there's not really much going on the track right now. I'm going to just quickly review that incident between Rayner and Coys once more. Break it down for myself. McLaren. Okay, so Rayner moves across once to cover off the move. Then he moves across a little bit more as Coys moves to the left to make the move. To be fair, Coys then doesn't really have time to react to that. Yeah, that's probably more on Rayner than it is Coys. B chills into the pits. He gets the soft tyres on. This is going to be interesting to watch now. Will he get out ahead of the Mercedes? No, and no. I don't think he's going to get out ahead of either of them. Yep, behind both of the Mercedes. So B chills, race leader. He's given himself 12 laps to go from 6th to 1st. Here in Interlagos, well, let's watch this man. Let's see what he's capable of. The gap to Lucas ahead is 2.8. Right, so I was just muting my phone. And something's obviously going on because B-Chills maybe needs to warm the tyres up. Let's not rush to conclusions now, but he needs to have some fantastic laps here if he really wants to get back into this race. Rayner is losing time to his teammate, but he is still ahead of him. But he's got to hold on for 11 laps. Gazelle gets another time penalty. That brings him up to 6 seconds track limit. He's P3, but he isn't actually P3. If you take the time penalties into account, he's only P4, and eventually those will catch up with him. And he'll probably end up P6, sorry, by the end. Yeah, Mikhail with a 3-second time penalty. Currently P2. At the end, people don't need to overtake him. They just need to get closer to him. Coys, he is having the perfect race right now. He is on the mediums. They're going to go to the end. All he has to do is stay ahead of everyone for 10 more laps. I think that's pretty manageable for him. B Chose has now started taking chunks out of times. Gazelle into the pits once more. B Chose sets the fastest lap at 109.6. Yeah, now B Chose is in his element and he is absolutely flying with the soft tyres on. Let's watch the Red Bull driver. He is going to start slicing through the grid to the best of his ability now. Coys has got nothing to worry about at the moment, but I think in a few laps' time that's going to change. And here is the Red Bull driver. Another purple sector. The only thing slowing him down right now is this Mercedes that's in his way. Fakes to the outside, goes to the inside. Lucas covers it off. Then moves to the right after a bit of contact there. It's inevitable, really, that the Red Bull's going to get past, and he does. Remember, both sets of cars are on softs, but he's messed up that section of the track once again. It seems to be his weakness. He's so poor just on that part of the track, and it's showing. It's really showing. That one section there when he can't navigate it when there's other cars around, and he's lost out once more. B Chills is going to have another stab at the overtake. It's not as close this time. Did he maybe pick up damage? Sends it into turn 1. Fantastic overtake, except he's made it off the track. Is he going to have to hand that place back? Yes, he is. Well, this is getting worse and worse for B Chills. He definitely had a great shot of winning before. With the pace he was showing, he was all over the back of Lucas, but he bowled it last lap. Now this lap, he's gone and got a penalty in his attempt to overtake. He got past the driver, but then has to give the position back. It's all going wrong for B Chills right now, and all of a sudden he's out of DRS range, and it doesn't look like he's going to win this race. He's got 8 laps to do it, and he is crumbling under the pressure. With the time penalty as well, you know, is he going to be lucky to get a podium here? I think he can still get on the podium relatively easily. Coys is also on a 3-second time penalty. To be fair to him, if he can get past Mikhail and Coys, then fair enough, but I don't think he can. 6.5 seconds to catch up to Mikhail. Here he comes. And he's going to go round both of the Mercedes into turn 1, but he does it off the track. Is there another time penalty that he's about to receive? No, but he concedes both positions again. B Chills is just ruining his own race here. Lucas basically gives up on that battle there and just lets the Red Bull by. The two Mercedes fighting. B Chills has tried to have both of them, and instead he's taken a detour off the track. And the Red Bull driver just isn't able to make the moves. And he is just throwing his chances away. Rayner's dropping further back from Mikhail, which means that B Chills is dropping further back from Mikhail, which means that he's now basically got to gain 16 seconds on the leader in 6 laps. And if he can do that, it'll be a miracle. Down the inside on Rayner, he's not waiting around. I mean, clearly that's not exactly what he's known for. And towards turn 1, Rayner gets the DRS. He's gaining, but no move. Super defensively, B Chills compromises himself, and Rayner is just going to come, right back up the inside and take the position back from him. My nose is like bunged up now as well. Down the inside, these two battling out, banging wheels, and Rayner is out. And there's a safety car, and now B Chills will probably win the race. They bang wheels going through turn 5, and Rayner has found the wall. Rayner's race ruined. Lucas, well, he wasn't really involved, he was just watching. And B Chills will win this race. It just depends on what time penalty he gets. Coy's into the pits. Fresh softs will come on to that McLaren, no doubt. In my mind there. Mikhail into the pits for the fresh softs as well. B Chills will just say thank you very much and take the track position. Or he'll try to. Is he going to get track position? No. I don't... Yes, no, maybe, possibly. No. No, he doesn't. Coys comes out ahead of him with the fresh softs. I still think that B Chills will be faster, nearly slamming into the back of Coys. Yeah, Rayner, I saw that. I was riding on board. I didn't see your perspective, but as soon as you bang wheels, I kind of guessed that you were going to be off in the wall, and a second later, you were out the session. So, I didn't see your car, but yeah, I think he kind of was a bit erratic with the steering on the outside, and I think you've banged wheels and gone off. Obviously, stewards are going to have to look at it, but I think you were not really at fault there. Rainer, there was another incident earlier on between you and Coys. I don't know. I think it was you and Coys. Where Coys was gaining on you, and then you kind of moved across left in the track to the middle, and then you moved across again. I don't know if Coys would view that as changing direction twice. I don't know if you thought it was kind of one motion. I don't know what. I've had a clip of it. I just looked over it myself. It looked more like a racing incident. I don't even know if he would press anything post-race on it. But I just spotted it, and I just thought maybe one for the stewards to look at if Coys wants to say anything. But I feel like it was probably more of a racing incident, but it's hard to say. And another thing is just that Beachills will win the race now. He's clearly superior with pace, but he can't. It's the racecraft. The overtaking has really proven difficult. Sorry, so the overtaking he's clearly struggled with. Running it deep into corners many times, trying to go for the overtake. And then there's wheel-to-wheel racing between you two, and it's ended with a crash. He's fast, but is he just lacking of the racecraft? I mean, I don't know. It's an interesting one. He just seems really desperate to get the overtake done, and it's not helping him at all. He needs the patience, I think. I did one motion to the left and got to the middle on the braking point, but Coys was never alongside. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Sorry, I'm just looking at the clip I've got now. Yeah, it was just a bit. Yeah, there wasn't even contact actually. I don't think it just looked weird watching it because it kind of looked like Coys just continued driving. I don't know. It was a bit of a weird one to watch. I don't really think there was anything wrong with it. It was just it's not really something I've ever seen happen before. Where it was just a weird incident. I don't know what to say really. It was just a really weird incident. I thought. So I was just interested what your view was on that. Because watching it from here, it was just weird. It just didn't. It seemed it was like as soon as you blocked off his move, it was like the safety car had been called out, and he just kind of kept driving on the grass for like 3 seconds. Right, the safety car will return to the pits now. Coys will back up the pack and wait to fly off, or he will hope to fly off. He's going to have Beachills right behind him. We know how desperate the Red Bull driver is. Coys is gone, he's caught the Red Bull napping, and now the Red Bull is under pressure from Mikhail and Lucas as well. Towards turn 1 we go. The Red Bull has already been taken by Mikhail. Contact between Lucas and Mikhail though through turn 1. Lucas finds himself very deep, has to rejoin the track, nearly slams into Gazelle, and somehow Beachills is still in P2, but crucially Coys is already 2.5 seconds up the road. It was a good getaway there for Coys. Beachills just didn't predict it, and now here comes Mikhail, and in the same corner where Beachills made contact with Rainer, he makes contact with Mikhail, and nearly takes a Ferrari driver out as well. swerving across the track to cover off the Ferrari. What is going on with the Red Bull? He spinning around in the wall. Well, his chances of winning the race have just, they're gone. Front right end plate gone. Chances of winning gone. Is his seat gone as well? Because that was some really questionable driving. And I'm sure the stewards will be really interested in that. CL Fan has found himself in P3. Somehow. Unfortunately for him, his penalties probably don't agree with him. And every driver on the grid has got a penalty. Let's actually keep penalties on. I want to see. Everyone's on 3 except for Gazelle, Nate, and CL Fan. Right, Mikhail. Well, he's not really hunting down Koiz. Koiz is off. CL Fan is hanging on in front of Lucas and Gazelle. He is doing his best to keep his AlphaTauri in P3 on track. I don't really think it's helping him all too much because he is he's just backing up a pack and he's got a 12-second tyre penalty, so yeah, nothing's really gonna work for him here, CL Fan. He can't really do much other than hang on and pray. Lucas doesn't go for the move. V Chills is like miles away down the start finish straight. Mikhail is gaining on Koiz, but he's not going to gain enough over this lap. Here comes Lucas around the outside, up into P3. Mercedes driver goes, and now Gazelle goes down the inside on CL Fan as well. CL Fan drops to P5, and I think B Chills with his pace, even with the damage, will then get within 9 seconds and take P5 off the AlphaTauri. We'll have to wait and see. But Koiz, I mean, there's so many different drivers who could have won it today. But Koiz managed to avoid as many incidents as he could. Seems like everyone was involved in something today. But it is the Spurs fans' day. Spurs finally win a trophy. Koiz wins the Brazilian Grand Prix. Mikhail P2, Lucas P3, Gazelle P4, CL Fan crosses the line, goes P5, and B Chills won't close the gap enough and will sit in P6 with Nate finishing P7. That was a very very controversial race. Driver of the day goes to Lucas. I'm sure he would have loved to finish P2 over Mikhail. But finally, Spurs have got a trophy, and it is Koiz who lifts it for them. Good job, Koiz. I know it's the first. I thought it was the first time I've ever commentated you winning. Congratulations, Koiz, for the victory. Chaotic race. I'm sure the stewards' room is going to be busy. Let's say that. Koiz, though, wins for the first time on stream. Mikhail P2, Lucas P3, Gazelle P4. Good performance from him. CL Fan P5, not bad for your debut, especially when you've got 12 seconds worth of time penalties. Nate finishes P7, B Chills P6. What, quite a bit of controversy, I think, to come later on. Rayner and Luke DNFing, and Nate finishing a lap down. Nate, not too happy with his performance. Give me a minute, because... What's going on? Why is this not working? Here. Okay, hang on. So, Mikhail, by finishing P2, gets 18 points. That brings him to 172 points. Lucas got 12 points from that race, which brings him to 123 points. So 172, let me get my phone. 172 minus 123 is 49. So hold the celebrations. It's not over yet. Lucas, if you're able to win these last 2 races, all you have to do is win them. 50 points. All you have to do is win them. And Mikhail doesn't score any points from now on. You win the World Drivers' Championship. Lucas, if you win both races with fastest lap, 26 points, so 52 points overall, that means that Mikhail is able to score 2 additional points, so he could finish 10th in the next 2 races, and you'd still win the championship. He could finish 8th in a race and then not score any points in another, and you'd win the championship. It's not over yet. It's probably over. Let's be honest. Mikhail is going to get a points finish higher, which will gain him more than 2 points. But it isn't over yet. We can't celebrate. But Mikhail has got one hand on the trophy, and his second hand is very, very close to being on it as well. How much is the gap from you to P3? The gap was Gazelle. Gazelle finished 4th. 4th place gets you 8 points. So, no, it doesn't. 4th place gets you 10 points. 10 plus 95 is 105. So you've got 123. So 123 minus 105 is 18. So 18 points separate second and third. So Lucas, you can probably go for it and you'll get P2. I mean, if you're lucky, you can get P1, but you're going to have to be unreal. Basically, if Lucas doesn't win the next race, Mikhail can celebrate for the first time ever in Aurora Racing League. And out of any driver to ever do it in this league, I can't think of a more deserving driver to finally win a championship. Through the hardships Mikhail has been through, he really does deserve one. And his time has surely come this season. It would take an absolute miracle for him not to win. And I think the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix might be the day we see it happen. Rainer saying that he will take Mikhail out for him. Rainer and Mikhail, obviously, if you remember earlier seasons, what a rivalry they had. Separated by 0 points going into the final race in Monaco for my first ever season of commentating. And they finished P1 and P2 respectively. Well, I said respectively, that doesn't matter because I didn't tell you. Oh, ignore me, bad English use there. Rainer finished first. Well, actually, Mikhail finished first on track but had a penalty, and Rainer finished second. So, Rainer ended up winning. And then basically the same thing happened the season after. It was ridiculous. Turn 1 straight line incoming. I had 46.32, bro, I should have known. Nate, stick to the chat and tier 2. No, I'm just kidding. I love you, Nate. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Right, I need to eat my dinner because I'm dying of starvation. Thanks to everyone who tuned in. Thank you for another brilliant race. Please join us in Emilia Romagna next week. It is Imola, right? It's not Monza, it's Imola, right? I'm gonna get me a Chinese. Woo! I'm jealous. I had a Chinese actually the other night, so it's fine. Yes, Imola. Alright, good stuff. See you guys in Imola. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Oh, look a minute, my phone's going off. And, of course, turn it off. From me and everyone else here at Aurora Racing League, wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, or good night.